Okay, let's talk about Google Slides and how you can use it in your classroom. I know if you guys are familiar with, PowerPoint or any type of presentation software, Slides is pretty much the same thing. So essentially, you can create, different things to make presentations. Here's one I did for our Board of Education. When I did the building condition survey, I was able to present this to the board and tell them about our findings and what needs to be fixed and what's in good shape. But I found a useful place in the classroom comes down to a lot of those things that Google is great with, and that's the collaboration part. Just to introduce my students to using it, we're doing a project last week. We started it the last few days, just based on finding facts and telling me about a country. It's nice because it gives the kids an opportunity to learn a little bit about a country and to know a little bit about what the CIA is, but also give them the opportunity to explore something that they wanted to learn about. So my goal for the lesson was they learned how to use Google Slides, but they got some freedom into choosing what it was. So like everything else, you can embed videos, you can embed links and pictures and things like that. So what I did was I allowed our students to pick a place and then go ahead and use the CIA World Factbook to tell me about it. So I put some links in here. They can go to the CIA World Factbook and they can go ahead and they can pick out a country to research. So, say for example, we chose Argentina. One of my kids chose Argentina probably because it's the first thing that's up here. And then they can dig through this and tell me some things about Argentina. They can use some of these pictures that were in here. They can use the maps that were in there. And while it is a lot of very CIA um, kind of grainy details, they were able to tell me some basic things about, the geography and the people who live there. And the idea is that once they were done telling me some basic facts about it using this, then they can go do their own research. So again, what I did is you could create a copy for each student. What I did was I took one document and I created a bunch of slides in it. So each kid started out with something very basic, what's your country? And then once they were done telling me about some things from the CIA World Factbook, they can go ahead and they can tell me about a famous place in the country. So I started grading a few of these, or just going through and telling some kids they need to make some revisions. So, this student is she's gone ahead and she's made some of the changes. A lot of this was also how to copy and paste, how to cite your sources, how to change some of um, your fonts and whatnot. So I'll give you an example. Fact three: France has the Eiffel Tower. That's all she had written there. So I wrote, "What's an Eiffel Tower?" And she went, she said, "A big monument." And obviously, that's what she chose to tell me about her landmark. So I put some suggested questions in there, just some guiding questions for her to answer, and she went ahead and did that. And next week we're going to worry about the formatting and things like that, embedding some videos. I think she did embed some videos. She did. Um, but again, this is one of my students. I love this kid, but it's constantly, I'm done, and I have to go back and say, all right, well, here's what you need to change. Um, but yeah, so I think it's a fun tool for them to use, and obviously they're all working at it at the same time, so they can kind of bounce around and tell me, oh, what's so and so working on? Oh, cool, so and so is doing South Africa, so and so is doing Ireland, and they can kind of add things as they go. You can add comments, and they could change them. So here we're doing it very much individually, but just showing them that they could work together. But on other projects, you can either have students work at the same time. On the same document, or you can split them up and have them work individually. Like I said, the real goal was just to get them kind of get the hang of it. They really did like the insert a picture tool. So one of my students was asking me about the Statue of Liberty. So we started talking about the state flag and how here's the Statue of Liberty, and she's raising up the pauper hat and stepping on the crown. And he really kind of dug a lot of those conversations, but he was able to get this picture by just saying insert image and then search from the web. So again, you can upload stuff from your own computer, but searching from the web, or same thing with the video, going ahead and searching YouTube or adding one yourself, it's a pretty useful tool.